What if I told you there were a couple of simple changes or tweaks that you could be done to your website to get you more traffic, get you more customers looking at your website, and a couple of changes that you can do to maybe double or triple the number of calls you get from your website? Would you be interested? All of that on this video, coming right up. Hey, you wonderful car count hackers. I'm so glad to see your smiling faces today. My name's Matthew Lee, and Car Count Hackers is all about helping auto repair shop owners fix their car count, get more customers, and finally make the money you know you deserve. We're talking about repair shop websites today, and we're going to dive into MoxieAutoservice.com, and we're going to have a look at exactly the changes that this repair shop owner could do to his website to actually increase the traffic to his website and get more conversions from his website. So why don't we jump right into it? Come on, let's go. So here we are at the landing page or the home page for MoxieAutoservice.com. I'll include a link down below in this video. So the page is loaded, and here's a couple of things I want to make some comments on this, because this is basically what your visitor's going to see as soon as they arrive. So they see your logo, that's great. Give your car a little Moxie. Now there's a tagline. I get it. I'm not so sure that's the tagline I would use. You might want to expand that a little bit by saying something, get the best service for your car, give it a little Moxie, something like that. Just the term, give your car a little Moxie, doesn't necessarily create the tie-in that I would be looking for. The other thing I'm going to say is, great, there's a photograph of a vehicle in behind, and you're using a text that may not be the easiest to read. Again, remember, you probably are working on development of this on your screen of a desktop, yet most people are going to see this for the first time on their mobile device. So I may want to consider changing that font so that it's a little clearer or easier to read, or change the image, or just put it to a solid color background. Next is the phone number. I like this a lot, because when I click that phone number, I don't have to look around for a pen or a pad or a paper or anything. I am instantly able to call your shop. That is what is known as a click to call. That's a good sign. Let's keep moving on. The About Us. I have to tell you that when the first time I saw this image, I was confused. The About Us should be about Moxie Auto Service. And, remember this. People do business with people, not companies. Yet this photograph is very confusing, and it almost, now I'm not trying to tee off on you here, it would almost lead me to believe that you fix cars out behind the shop somewhere. It's certainly giving me that impression, and on top of that, you have no caption with that. So I would strongly suggest that be changed to a picture of the shop owner. Even the shop owner and staff would be a lot better than just a picture of this vehicle. Obviously being looked at by somebody, it's just not the strongest image that I would recommend putting on my repair shop website. Your first titling here, Experienced Mechanic. That's great. Specializing in AC mechanical repair, we commit to providing high quality repairs to keep you safe and happy. Again, where's your picture? Don't hide behind your website. If you want to emphasize the issue of experience, what about logos that I would recognize? I'm not saying, if you're not ASC approved, of course, don't put an ASC approved logo there. If you are, then it's certainly the spot to add that logo. What about other credentials? What about even if you are a member of a local chamber of commerce? You may not, I understand what you might be thinking, that doesn't have an automotive thing to it, but it certainly adds credibility to you as part of the community. Next, another stock image. Hate stock images. I really, with being able to take pictures so easily, I think this is a failure, not using an image of your shop, your service counter, and better yet, you. And, taking 3-4 pictures. I'm going to link here to a video that I did about using your picture. I believe it was my first 2-Minute Tuesday. The next headline, we have you covered. It's still not what I would consider a strong headline, but I get the point. Here's what I think you're missing. You have a 12-month warranty on all our services. Why isn't that highlighted, underlined, bolded, something to make it stand out? Even in what you're saying above here as experienced mechanic, specializing in AC. People don't read, people scan. So you need to highlight some of this text so that you're directing my eye to what you want me to see. Okay, and next you're talking about your quality promise. We're committed to providing stress-free experience for both new and returning customers. Our shop only uses parts from reputable brands. Great. That should be highlighted. And what are those brands? Now, just because I'm a car owner and not necessarily a tech, reading this, would there be brands that I would recognize? And I'm just saying this as an example. If you're a Napa member, why isn't the Napa logo there? Or, whatever, the popular brake brands. Something that lends credibility that, if I look at this website, I may not know you. I certainly would suggest you get rid of these stock images. But if I start to see brands and logos that I recognize, I get a much better feeling about you. Let's keep moving on. Your services. You list repairs. Again, not a strong headline. Why isn't it something along the lines of, the service we provide to help you avoid unexpected breakdown or something along those lines? Again, nothing highlighted here. We can handle anything from brakes, suspension. This might be better listed in what is known as a bullet list, where you would have a sentence or two and then bullet, brake repair, this, that, and list the services that you do, again, in accordance to priority. Obviously, tire repair shouldn't be at the top of the list, but if you're specializing in AC, what about check engine light codes? What about brakes? What about timing belts? Those things. So, organize that list, scribble it down on paper, and figure out the 1, 2, 3, 4 order and list them that way. With respect to your services here, I am not a big fan of putting pricing on a website unless it's in a format of a coupon. Now, your air conditioning service here listed at $60, that's fine. This is in no way intended to tell you to increase the price or reduce the price or change anything. The only recommendation I would have is that you may want to consider changing that to $59.99 instead of a flat $60. And if you go online or just walk through your local Walmart, you're going to see that the even dollar price is not used as much as the discounted, $97, $95, $99, whatever you want. The other recommendation I would have for you is you may become a lot more appealing if you created this with an $89 price and then scratched that out and said now only $59. Or $59.95 or $99. So you're instantly showing a discount. If your regular price is $60, you can show that as possibly a higher price. Again, I'm not in your market. I don't know what is popular or common in your market. I'm just making recommendations. The other thing I would strongly suggest you do is, and I'll link above here, there is a video I did on how to create kick butt offers, and that can be done here as well. Brake pads, rotors, and the next heading here is battery replacement. I'm not so sure those are enticing headlines. I would want to be, you're talking about the solution, but what's the problem that's dragging me in? What's the question that you can ask me? Would it be, nasty squeaking noises or whatever? The solution is the brake repair. But to attract me, what is it? Because I didn't come to your website looking for brake repair. Even though my brakes are squealing and my car's pulling when I hit the brakes, I don't get it. I didn't come looking for brake repair. I come looking for a solution to squeaking brakes, cars pulling, stuff like that. I don't have to tell you what you hear over the service counter every day. I'm just making recommendations. Your website is showing me the solution. I would start by backing up and asking the question. Same thing with battery replacement. Avoid unexpected roadside breakdown. Don't get stranded. Things like that. Just some suggestions and recommendations, and you may want to include a link here that goes to a coupon, and you could generate a coupon again. Here's where I get a little confused with the headline of contact us and request a quote, with the form saying, give us your name, your email, and your message, yet there's nowhere for me to input my vehicle, make, model, or anything like that. And you're just assuming that I know what to do here. And I'm going to tell you, don't make any assumptions to anything on your website. Don't make me think. So I would change this to request a free quote or request a free no obligation quote. Get a name, an email address, year, make, and model, and what can we quote you on today? Even your send button. The text in the send button should be changed to something like, quote me now. You're looking to engage this customer, and just send is like, send this off into the, into the internets or the interwebs, whatever happens. You want to do this. You may even want to put a note here that we promptly respond within, is it 24 hours, is it 12 hours, whatever. We'll get back to you. And I would strongly suggest you include a phone number here, maybe not as a required field on the phone, on the form to fill out. So if I don't want to leave you my phone number, I don't have to. But wouldn't it be so much better to be able to pick up the phone and say, hey, Jack, I just got your request for quote. I have a couple of questions. How can I help you? Or something like that. Engage with the customer. So there's a couple of comments on that. What I do like here, complete business address. So if I want to contact you by snail mail, I've got a complete address. Again, phone number appears, and that's a clickable, so that's perfect. That's great. And you quickly display your hours of operation. So the hours are great, but the problem I'm having right now is the fact that these are right at the very bottom of the page. In order to find your hours, I have to scroll all the way past the About Us and all the stock images, services, and everything like that, request a quote, and there's his hours. So although this is not intended to be an HTML course, there are simple ways to create links that you could put across the bottom here, hours, and it would automatically scroll all the way down. And I'd be more than happy to help you figure that out if you want to contact me, or leave a comment below. And the last but not least, the bottom of your website includes a map. I have a problem with this. I've said it in other videos. Google is the best supplier of maps. So the map is not very good as far as very large on a phone. And so there's a blue pin, and I am thinking that is your location. And when I click that, I get directed to another site that says Get Directions. Now that for me is a little bit of a problem on two fronts. Number one, you're taking me off your website, or so it appears. And number two, it seems to be taking some time to load. So have a little bit of respect for your mobile user and the bandwidth that they're going to. Okay, so before we get into a couple of pro hacks on this, I want to take a look at the desktop version of this website. And I have a confession to make here. Something just appeared to me when I did this just before I hit the record button. First of all, two simple things that are the most important to your SEO are your page title and your meta description. So right now, if I search for your website, here's a look at how your website comes up in Google search with Moxie Auto Service and the meta description. The top bold line is your page title. The 2 lines underneath, the smaller text, is what's called the meta description. And here's what I want to show you. First of all, when you go to any website, now I am using Google Chrome browser, but this works on any website browser. If I hover the tab here, if you look to the top left, you'll see Moxie Auto Services. That is, in fact, the page title. Before we get a little geeky and get into some of the code, I want to scroll down here and show you one thing that I did find. I know when I looked at this on the phone, this map was nowhere near as detailed. It still doesn't let me zoom in or scroll. If I want to get directions, I still have to click off this page. But what I'm saying to you is check your website on your phone, because if I were working on this website on a desktop only, this looks great. This is a good map. But it doesn't appear that way on the phone. So let's get into this. 2 things that you can do to drastically improve the SEO of your website. Just take any part of the page and right-click and click to View Page Source. Now, don't get all upset and worried. This is just a bunch of geeky code. I want to show you something real quick that can change a whole lot of things for your website. Again, I want to say that I'm using Google Chrome. When I hit my Control F key, a little search box comes up, and I just want to search for the word title. Now, down the right-hand side, you'll see where all this, different title, the word title appears. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for what's in the head section, and the title of your website is Moxie Auto Services. The number one problem is that if I don't know Moxie Auto Service, how would I find you? So you are telling Google you are Moxie Auto Service, as opposed to telling Google that you are auto repair, air conditioning experts, or whatever in city, state, zip code. That's the way the title is supposed to be crafted. Secondly, I want to show you what is known as meta. And meta descriptions, gets a little bit confusing, but there should be a meta description specifically laid out in the header part of this page, and it does not appear there. And I realized why. So, first of all, I know you're using, this is being built with GoDaddy Website Builder. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when you look at the way your website is being displayed, the Google search is doing nothing but taking this first 2 lines of text and including that in your website listing on their search engine, and this doesn't say anything to me about where you are. Your 2 most valued pieces of real estate on your website are your title and your meta description. And in this case, I have to sadly say that you've missed on both of them. You are including your company name, which simply isn't being searched. You should be auto repair, air conditioning repair, or air conditioning break service, specialist. There is a limit to characters. This isn't about writing HTML code, texts, and tags. This is all about the fact that the incredible improvements can be made in this website with the proper title and the proper meta description. Let's come back and give you some pro hack tips and wrap this up. So now I want to give you some pro hack tips that you can easily do to improve traffic and conversions from your website. Number 1 is going to be your title and your meta description. Understand this. I've been building websites for years, built thousands of websites, and the most important piece of information, or the most important real estate on your website, is your title tag and your meta description. So I would get that fixed up and changed right away. Secondly, add bolding or underlining or some way to direct my attention in your text. People don't read everything, they scan. So things like your specialist in, AC repairs, or your 12-month warranty, or your thing about parts. Whatever you want me to look at, highlight it, bold it, make it stand out so that when I'm scanning your page, I'm going to see that. Next, well, first of all, the photos got to go. The stock images, in today's market, taking a picture as simple as an iPhone picture is far better than any stock image that you're going to use. And where's your picture? So I'm going to link to a video here that I did about just that, getting your picture on your website. And all the other things with respect to logos, whether it be ASE logos or any recognizable logo for automotive associations or product brands. Familiarity breeds trust. So if I see that logo, and even if it were a Chamber of Commerce logo from your local Chamber of Commerce, that gives you credibility. If I were a member of that Chamber of Commerce, automatically your credibility goes up with me. So it doesn't necessarily have to be automotive, but use the ones that you can. Next pro hack, fix your map. As you saw in the video on my phone, your map was really not the responsive map that I'm looking for, yet on your desktop, it is a great map. So always check your website on your phone, but I would fix that map so that I can zoom it, scroll it, and look at it, and even get directions right from your website, not having to be redirected or anything like that. The other thing that I would fix is your pricing under your services. I told you I'm not a big fan of putting pricing out there unless it's on a coupon. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with what you've done. But I would suggest you make that into a coupon. And I'm even going to link to a video up here about kick butt offers. You may want to change the pricing. Again, I'm not in your market. I can't tell you what to do. But even if you went as far as saying a $79 value for $59 or something like that, or if you have a look at the video on kick butt offers, you'll have other ways to build the value of that offer and do that. Or, the best way to do it is to bring about a coupon on your website. And the last thing is reviews. Now, when I looked online, I think you only had one Google review. Put it on your website. If I'm on your website, you don't know if I've already looked at the Google reviews or not. So copy that Google review and put it on your website so it makes it real easy for me to see what other people are saying about you. Because you can tell me how good you are till the end of time. What other people say is what's going to make me want to come to your shop. So if that was of help to you, I certainly welcome your comments and questions down below. While you're here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, ring the bell icon so you're first to be notified when I release new videos. Like and share the video, and I'll leave it at that. My name is Matthew Lee. Thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes of your day with me. See you on the next video. Take care. Talk soon.